This is In My Lounge Room, and I'm your host, Sky.
And I'm your other host, Damo, and on this week's episode, it's part 2 of Beck and the Catfish.
Hey, Damo.
Hey, Sky, how you doing?
Oh, look, just brilliant. Just fantastic.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. I think you're lying because... Do you want to explain what's happening right now?
Right now?
We've travelled through time.
Oh, you want me to explain what happened like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Damo, I messaged you and went, check this out.
Oh no,
And
I'm talking about like why we're what's happening now in our timeline, as in like
hang on. So we're admitting that we're redoing this.
Absolutely, because people have been waiting, and I've been getting messages, and people have been going, "Where is the next episode?"
Dr. He messaged me going, "What's going on? Why is it happening?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's issues."
Is he happy with his full name being on the podcast there?
Oh, just call him Dr. Charles.
Okay, I'll bleep that.
What's that? Doctor. What's that song? Mr. Oh no, it's Mr.
I don't know. Okay.
Dr.
Jones,
Jones.
Basically, today is the 21st of June.
Yes.
And we've already recorded 2 episodes prior to today. Mm-hmm. However, the episode that we recorded 2 weeks ago, which is episode, number 2 in the saga, we had some serious audio problems. And
we thought it was good.
I threw up my hands in disgust eventually.
You did.
Because
you went,
I wasn't going to work on it.
I thought at first you were like, I'm done with this podcast. I realised you were done with the episode.
No, done with that episode. It absolutely drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So, but all good. It's just one of those things, I suppose. We just got to redo it and try and be as hilarious as we were the last time. So everyone listening, just take our word for it. It was absolute gold. One of the best podcasts you've ever heard.
I just want to say what's been gold, though, is the last 48 hours of us sorting this whole process of me using Zoom and microphones. That's been gold.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone also that anytime they want to do stuff where they're trying to tell me how to do stuff, and I just give up sometimes. It's good.
You get a little bit frustrated. But yeah, we are on Zoom. So we do have to allow for the fact that we will talk over each other a little bit. Yeah. And we're not intending to. It's just that sometimes because of the delay, if you think the other person's finished speaking and then you start talking and then all of a sudden you're talking over the top of each other. So that's going to happen. But that's Zoom. But anyway, we can exchange pleasantries as normal. You've had a good week and things have been happening and all that. But when it comes down to it, I really would just want to get into this story because this is pretty much what we did last time as well. I mean, we're just replicating that. Is that Sky's going to recap a story that we told and then redacted several months ago because someone who was the subject of the story, even though they were complicit in us talking about it, in hindsight, told us off. And we had to edit out the story from 2 episodes. So we're going to tell that story because... Oh, it was great, yeah, because I love spending hours and hours editing for no good fucking reason. Right. So Sky is going to tell the story and fill in the blanks here and,
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay, so we all remember last year, I think it was August, I had a speed dating event in a place called Fremantle and it went swimmingly well. And
sorry, it sounds like you're telling children's story. In a place called Fremantle, and there were hobbits and hipsters and ferals.
It was amazing. Everyone lived happily ever after. Anyway,
Sorry,
it went so well. It went so well that I met no one. So, yay.
Well, you were hosting it, so...
I was hosting it, so I wasn't actually looking to meet anyone, but I was hosting it. And anyway...
Sorry, just to interject, didn't you meet the German at when you were hosting a speed dating event?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
the previous
sorry
one.
about that. Yeah.
So, yes. So I can't complain, really. That went well. So... okay, so but this time I'd planned the whole thing. It was my event. Anyway, so it didn't go so well because we didn't have a lot of people. But anyway, moving on from there, one couple got on very well, very well. And it seemed like it was going well. And she was the person that I'd come to the event with, along with our friend Sarah. Anyway, so then we left Fremantle. I wanted to go home. It was late. It was about 11. It was winter. It was cold. I was ready to go home. We all got in the car. She'd been chatting to this guy all night. They were clearly getting on. They'd been going out for smokes all night. No one can see me do the smoke signal, but that's what I'm doing.
It's okay.
Anyway, off we went, driving home to Mandurah. And about around Austell Ships area, for those who know Fremantle, which is about 20 minutes out of Freo. So heading almost halfway to home, she gets this message and she goes, he wants me to go back to Freo. And I'm like, no, that's not happening. I want to go home to my bed. And she's like, well, I really want to see him. And he's saying that, he wants to see me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yep, sure. So this is what we'll do. There's a service station coming up. I can take you there and you can get an Uber back to Fremantle. And she was like, okay. And I was like, fine. Okay. I didn't think she'd say yes to it.
I'm just going to jump in because at this point of the story in the original version a year ago, I said a giggity giggity or chicka bow bow, I think I said.
Wow, right. Chicka wow wow, yes.
So one of the irate emails or messages that we got from this person, from that woman, was her having a crack at me, alluding to the fact that she was going back to see him because they were going to have sex.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily say that. I just made a jicka bum bum. You can interpret that however you want.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to say, you met someone at a speed dating event and you've bailed on your lift home to go and catch up with the dude. You don't have to I don't think it's too disrespectful of me to go, perhaps they were going to go hook up. But anyway, that was one of the issues she had, but carry on.
Yeah,
so
I think
she went back and you carried on your merry way.
Yes. Except, can I just point out, I had to use my own Uber account.
Yes.
To get her to Fremantle. So she's like, I don't have Uber. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this guy offered to transfer the money to me because it's about, I don't know, $60 so that I could pay for this Uber to get her to Freo. Right? So
because she was incapable of downloading the app and signing up for it right there and then.
Apparently. So, yeah. So anyway, off she went in her Uber. And I think I said to her, look, can you just let me know when you get back to Mandurah or at some point to let me know you're alive? Like the usual thing you do to a friend, yeah? Anyway, I kept driving home. The next day she did message me when she was on her way back to Mandurah that next afternoon. Oh, by the way, I'm alive. I'm like, cool. Maybe could have let me know beforehand. I did message her the next morning going, I'm guessing you're having a good time. Hope you're alive. Anyway, so then they were officially together as a couple, and he took her out, and he took her out to dinner, and they had oysters.
And she had told you about it, and you had, there hadn't been any indication of don't dare tell this story on the podcast. Now, will
she
you?
even said it's a success story for the podcast. Totally tell the story.
Because it was a success story. And when we were talking about it, we were being positive about the experience as it was a totally positive outcome for your speed dating event. So
yes, exactly.
no problem here. But then what happened subsequently?
So
because we obviously spoke about it and you mentioned the oysters and how he loves to spend money on lavish things and he goes to spas and things and we spoke about that and I made a comment about, well, you know what, that's a lot because I hope he can keep that up as in I hope that he can, because a lot of people we've spoken about love bombing. You know, that is a risk, Pete, that you are getting love bombed. And so all I'm saying is, and any time I say anything like this, is just be cautious, men, women, otherwise. Just be cautious of what's going on.
I've been love bombed like a legend.
And so, yeah, she heard that, and I believe she then showed him, knowing, you know, and she was still positive about it, going, oh, check it out. They spoke about us on the podcast. And then we got these. Well, first of all, she messaged me saying that he wasn't happy, that we'd spoken that he had a daughter, that we'd mentioned sort of areas. We hadn't mentioned anything, locations. Nothing. And he was like saying it needs to be taken down now. People will know who he is, blah, 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 blah. Because obviously, you know, we're famous and we have millions of listeners, and they're also celebrities. So,
correct.
You know, everyone's going to know who they are. Exactly. Those two demographics are absolutely going to cross over.
I know.
I'm being facetious, but yeah. So she had shown him the podcast, and then she messaged and said that he didn't like it because he could be identified because, we were being smart asses about how that could be possible.
Chicka wow wow, etc.
Well, you and I were right now being smart asses, I mean, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, and then basically she sent us voice messages on our random WhatsApp that was connected to the Facebook account.
That's not a random WhatsApp. That's my WhatsApp that I set up on our Facebook page because Meta owns WhatsApp. So when you set up a business page, it asks you if you want to put a WhatsApp button because that is like the standard way of communicating.
Yeah, but I don't have it connected to any of the accounts I manage. So I was like, cool, okay. And so I know you, and then we listened to them, and she sent them things to me, and it was just really aggressive and like, you know, basically like threatening to like, you know, not sue us, but she was pretty aggressive and saying, take it down now. And you were like, well, I'm just going to take as long as I want because fuck you.
Yeah, and I also wasn't going to delete the whole episode, so I went through and just deleted out certain parts and bleeped things. I'll also go back because I didn't mention this the first time round, but I did tell you that she messaged that WhatsApp, which is my WhatsApp. Yeah. So if you message the page, it goes to me. She messaged that like months and months before, talking about how, you know, you have to have a special connection and she has to really get to know a guy. And like, you know, I would never just hook up with a guy I'd met that night. And so that was what I think she was like, oh shit, I'm now look like a hypocrite because clearly I am going back. She wasn't going, let's be fucking adults, all right? She wasn't going back to Fremantle in an Uber in the middle of the night to go and fucking compare stamp collections.
No, or play Scrabble or whatever. No.
Yeah. So don't tell me I don't hook up with guys unless I've really got to know them and know who they are, because clearly you do. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, sorry, go on.
That's okay. Yeah. So, but in the end, she was like, I remember reading those messages actually in the conversation you two had been having like about it. But yeah, she was all very much like, it's got to be a connection. Anyway, so she, anyway, so she got really aggressive, and then she blocked us, and basically we were like evil, etc. So then,
and I mean we did do it. We did remove.
We did what she wanted,
but we've just in this first 10 minutes, you've just told the story, apart from us making, you know, snide comments now that we didn't make then.
We didn't make originally.
You've just told the exact story. No, that's right. Originally, we were like, yay, positive success story. They're a couple now. But just be aware that you might be getting love bombed. That's all.
Yeah. And originally, because I had like I think 20 or 25 people booked for my speed dating and paid money. And I only ended up having like, I think, 9 or whatever. So like,
yeah, and you were bummed.
I was. Well, one, because the idiots paid me money. I made a profit, but I was also like, that's not really what it was about. It was about connections and like finding, you know, a way to get people connecting. So the fact that 2 people out of 9 connected and like had a success story, I thought was awesome.
Yeah, that's right. And
then she threw a giant tantrum.
That's right. So that all went by. So many moons have passed and the sun has risen and set. And then about 3 weeks ago, you messaged me with a very, what in the holy fuck? Right. And what happened then?
Well, have you still got these or not anymore?
Yeah, I probably have, but I'll just go in there. So you want to just say what happened while I look for them?
Okay, so what happened was I just got a random message from a person like going, and all it said was, "Hey Sky, looking hot with like flames," right? And I was like,
and as I said last time, that's something that women just like. So you would have just gone, another fucking idiot, just because that's what men do. Oh, interestingly enough, we've got to address a listener question when we've told this story.
Oh yeah. So
and
anyway,
we'll talk about the circumstance around that. But carry on. So you sent me this screenshot.
Yeah.
Which is?
So I messaged you going, what the heck? And then I clicked on his profile and realized that the person who sent that message to me was the guy in this whole couple story, the guy that she'd gone back to Freo for.
The guy that she had told us did not like us talking about him. So do you want to like bring context? Because the first message that I have in these screenshots is you saying whatever. So clearly he had said something before then. I don't know if you've got that because I think you've
I've got the whole script, but just it's more fun when you and I read it. But do you want me to just read it out loud?
Yeah, no. I don't know what comes before. So read what you said from whatever.
I said, "Excuse me."
Yeah, see, I don't have that. Oh, yeah, okay, that page. I'm looking backwards, so it says, "Hey, Sky, looking hot."
That's the flame sound. Okay, and then I said, "Excuse me, number one, I'm such a bitch. You're not even at my level, so keep dreaming. Number two, you made that woman ask us to remove episodes of our podcast because you're an insecure misogynist. Number three, bye, Felipe."
Yeah, bye, Felipe. No, I didn't ask for any episodes to be dismissed. I'm not insecure.
Yeah, you did. I got abusive messages from her demanding we remove it as you were so worried about people knowing who you were. Please don't message me.
I don't know what you're on about. I wouldn't care about being on your podcast. Sorry. Blank face emoji. No expression emoji.
No expression. Whatever. She sent abusive voice message to me saying you had listened and were furious you were mentioned in any way. Anyway, bye.
Bit of alliteration there. Sorry, Sky. She's a little nuts. I think the podcast was great. No one would even know anyway.
WTF.
And then that's when you've messaged, like I've messaged you and just gone, what the fuck? We're conversing at this point in time. And I'm like, what? Is he saying that he wasn't the one saying this? Like, is he trying to say that
pissed me off? Yeah.
Because like it's like she got embarrassed about what she said, or he noticed, or maybe he laughed or something, and she was embarrassed about it. Or who knows? I don't know. But anyway, your next message with WTF.
WTF, I should send you the voice messages of her abusing us, saying you had demanded we remove it. It was pretty fucked up at the time. Damo spent hours editing episodes. Anyway, if it was all her, sorry, as we possibly implied on the podcast, you were the problem.
We implied there was a problem. And he said, no, I'm just saying you didn't do anything wrong.
And so I was like, no, I didn't. No, I know we didn't. We never thought we did, but it just sucked. We removed whole sections of our podcast. Anyway, have a great weekend.
Sorry again. And actually, I think I'm at your level.
No.
I've been working on my body with sports, etc.
I don't care. I wish you well. Bye.
Haha, no worries, Sky. Lovely to message with you. Yeah, okay. So let's unpack that. First of all, number one, you're not even on my level. I love that.
I'm such a bitch.
Like, have you ever used that line before? No, he's not. on any way. But have you ever used that line on someone before?
No, but it felt awesome.
And what on earth were you talking about? I mean, clearly you were pissed off when you worked out who this guy was, and you were just straight up, fuck you, man. I'm going to be a bitch.
And I was.
Like, so it was a calculated statement.
Yeah, the first message was just all like looking hot, and I was like, yuck. And then I know, no offense, but he's not on my level. He's just not my type. He's someone's level.
You know,
he's not my level.
You can word it however you want. I'm not going to judge you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to laugh about it, but I'm not going to judge you. I had a conversation with someone at work the other week actually about things that I find cringe, right? Mm. And I'd find certain things cringe, like the way people dress and like the little groups that people become part of because they don't have an identity. And I said it was cringe. And she's like, oh, you're so judgmental. I'm like, no, I'm not judging them. I mean, in a way I am. I'm just cringing at it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to tell you can't dress like a fucking idiot. Go for your life. But I am going to cringe. But yeah, so... let's just, as I said, let's unpack those messages.
Yeah.
Do we believe, I do tend to believe that there may be some truth, maybe not 100%, but there may be some truth in what young man's telling us.
Oh, yeah. You can tell, like, as I go on from, like, keep dreaming, a fuckhead sort of thing. By the end, I was like, sorry, if that's the case, I apologize because we had assumed it was all her. And he was, because he kept responding and he wasn't being all like, fuck you, bitch. Rah. He was all like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. In those messages, he quite often, when men are challenged or when men, and I'm not talking like mentally or emotionally challenged because men are mentally and emotionally challenged. When a woman challenges a man or when a woman throws some shit back into a man's face and like, don't fucking call me hot, you slime, you know, I'll call myself hot. I don't need you, or whatever the case may be. Quite often they retaliate, or like when you reject them, they turn around and go, well, fuck you, bitch, or whatever. He didn't do that at one point. His entire conversation with you was actually quite respectful. So
it was.
Maybe he's right. Maybe she is nuts. I'm not saying she is. That's not my words. That's his. Yeah. So I don't know.
I think it just seems everything she did, she responded so like aggressively to that.
Yeah, that's right.
And yet he has responded in no way. Not once, even when I was all like, nah. He's just all like, cool.
He could have just gone, no, fuck you, and just blocked you. But he didn't. He addressed, he had the conversation with you. And it makes me think that, like, well, there's a reason why she caught a Uber back to see this guy. He seems like a decent guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, we still really don't know. I'm not, like I said, if he wants to spend big money on first dates and, you know, take people out and, you know, if he has a good FIFO job making a lot of money and like you spend proportionate to your means and maybe he can afford to do that stuff and maybe he will carry on doing that stuff. But I wasn't questioning whether he was a good person or not. I wasn't questioning whether she was a good person or not. All we were doing was, and just brace yourself, creating content and being funny.
Yeah. Exactly. That was me laughing.
But yeah. But anyway, do we want to tell the story? Look, what we'll do is there's 4 little sections of our last episode of my conversation with Beck, which we commented in specific places. So I think this is going to make our lives easy if we just wait for the pause. And then we can comment in that pause because then I don't have to edit the fucking thing.
Okay.
The pauses are already there from last time.
Cool bananas.
And then I want to talk about a young man who made a comment on one of our posts on Facebook and then sent us a message. And he asked a question, so I want to respond to his question.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm going to bring the audio, unless you've got anything else you want to add about that whole saga with that woman and this guy.
No, I think we're good.
I just think it was important to go, you know what? I just want to point out that this is a thing that happened, and we're not trying to make anyone feel bad. She doesn't listen anymore anyway, so who cares? We can say what we want.
I don't even know who she is. In the
and nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows who she is. Nobody knows who he is. And if he's listening now, thank you very much, sir, for
for For supporting us.
At least being, for listening now, and at least being respectful of Sky's wishes and understanding that she was angry, and with good reason. So anyway, I'm just queuing this up now, and in several seconds' time, we're going to have the next bit of, if I can line this up, it's going to start any second. So he was in damage control when he called you?
I think he accidentally called me, to be honest. Okay. I think he must have been checking something and then tried to get out because those tabs are right there.
Yep.
So I called him back and I was like, what did you want? Like, I'm not nice. Once someone's pissed me off, I was like, what did you want? I'm at work. And he was like, no, sorry, it was an accident. Like, I'm really sorry. And I was like, okay, well, I have something to tell you. I found your other profile and I want to know why you lied to me. Don't lie to me. That is my one rule. I don't care what you tell me. I would rather know the truth and make a judgment based off that, and continue talking to you based on my opinions of that truth, or don't talk to me at all. Because if you're going to lie and I catch you out, that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I only made that profile because I was upset with you last night. You were clearly pissed off with me. I thought you were done having a conversation with me and you didn't want to talk to me.
It's a very childish way to react to someone being upset with you. Look, I am just going to split that right there and just, I'm going to move that back. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I was just going to say that in the last episode we recorded before this one, because we've jumped around in times, because we've gone episode 1, episode 3, back to episode 2. Yeah. So this is going back to when the first time they started chatting, and then they had a phone call out of the blue, right? Because she's called him out. So that's the context there, because it's, as I say, for people listening, you can always go back and listen to the previous episode. But for you and I, just to get my head around where we are, and just vocalizing what's actually happening. So that's all I'm doing, is like putting us into a actual timeline. So we'll carry on with that.
Conversation with me, and you didn't want to talk to me.
It's a very childish way to react to someone being upset with you.
Yes.
Yep.
Another red flag.
Yep.
Just chuck them on the pile.
You don't want to resolve things or be an adult about stuff.
No. But also when you cut yourself off from the dating thing, I have a very open mind to dating. Like, I would rather be the best of 1,000 women that you speak to and you still want to pick me than, the bottom tier and just, I'm just talking to her because, you know what I mean? And I've been rejected by, my top 5 or whatever. Like, date 1,000 women.
Like when zombies come back. Like when they chat to you and then you stop chatting to them, or they disappear, and then 5 months later, hey, how you doing? And it's like, oh, did you run out of other people to...
I literally say that to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you are back from the dead, I see.
Yeah.
Broke your phone. What's the excuse here? You ran out of other options and now you're back. I don't know. So anyway.
So after this phone call... Right.
He seems to have resolved, and he's like, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 but I'm not going to delete this.
No offense, but you bought it.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Because then obviously I know that he's talking to my friend. So now he's trying to prove to me that he's not messaging other women, but he's already messaged my friend. So I'm playing it cool right now. And I go, okay, cool. And he's like, I'm going to keep the profile, but I'm not going to talk to anyone. So he calls me on the phone again and we're talking. And I was like, oh, yeah, so man, yeah, other plenty of fish hoes. Hey. And he's like, I don't have any hoes. I'm going to screenshot this and prove it to you. Screenshots his inbox, sends it to me. See, none. And I was like, okay.
Because you can't clear them out and make it look empty, or use another fake profile where you haven't contacted anyone. Bingo. Which is just a replicate of the one that you're talking to me on. No, that's not possible.
Yeah, exactly. So he obviously thinks I'm an idiot. So I'm thinking to myself, okay,
I think he thinks everyone's an idiot, but yeah.
I'm like, I'm so clever. I've caught this man out. And so I'm talking, my friend's talking to him. She's luring him in. I said, get him to send you photos. I want to verify 100% that's him. So she gets photos from him.
So I believe this has all taken place in the first week. Just in hindsight, I'm pretty sure that comes up in the next bit. But she already said right there, and this is good going back to this, because remember last week's episode, we were I think we'd forgotten that this took place in the episode before. But she's suspicious, and she's trying to call him out already.
Yeah.
And
yet she is suspicious, but she keeps going along with it.
Yeah. It's suspicious, yet... so stubborn in her resolve to prove a point. Yet And we're probably going to be repeating this on the next episode because we only recorded that like 4 days ago. Yet somewhere deep inside, somewhere deep inside,
really,
somewhere in the back of her mind, she's holding out hope that it might.
She
be
really
real.
is. Yes, he's going to be the perfect man. He really, yeah.
And she's not desperate, but she, and no one is. Single. No one should be. Yeah, that's right. So, and you know that one of those things you do is you just go, well, wouldn't this be lovely? Which you brought up a topic for a future episode, which we're going to get to, is that desire to be in a relationship when you've been in one for a long time and you know you're single all of a sudden. But anyway, we won't get bog down on
to be one of the couples
that's right.
again. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean we've discussed it in previous episodes with us and how it feels, and like with women, you know, treating you like you're going to steal their husband and that kind of thing. So I can understand there is that kind of insecurity and that need to be loved. But yeah, anyway, we're going to carry on.
So she gets photos from him, everything, right? And she's like, yeah, he sent me photos of his theatre. So now, because we didn't know this thing with the Snapchat was like you can make photos appear real and real time. So we're thinking, wow, he's got like this massive house. He's got all this stuff, like, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. So he's sending her videos of his collections as well. Same thing that he's sending me, collects Transformers, like all this shit. And so.
But does he have a first generation Optimus Prime?
I don't know, probably. I mean, maybe. I mean, he sent me these photos. I just don't even know if they're real. Nothing's real.
Mine? But yeah.
It's like my whole, like, you know.
I have a 1983 first generation Optimus Prime. But anyway, go on.
That would be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So he then continues talking to me, but I'm petty. I'm so petty. And I just keep stewing on this and getting more and more mad. And I'm like, I'm going to say something. So he messaged me in the morning and he's like, oh, hey, like, how's your day? Blah, blah, blah. And I said to him at this point, I was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how smart do you think you are? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I think I'm an 8. And I was like, I think I'm a 10. Also, I'm like a fucking 2 at this point because I think I'm smart and this catfish is outsmarting me. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm a 10. And I was like, and he's now messaging my friend at the same time. And we're on the phone together, like constructing what we're saying to him via Snap. So we're going like, oh, yeah, you know.
And this is still in the first week. Like you hadn't organised to try and meet him or anything at this stage?
Not at this point because I like to talk to someone for maybe like 2 to 4 weeks before I actually meet them because then I'll rule them out as someone who's a prospective interest. So anyway, so this is day 7 and he ends up saying like he must know that I'm onto him about something. I said, I told you never to fucking lie to me and you've lied to me. And we actually made a bet that he wasn't lying to me. And he said, I bet your favorite child. Why he would bet a child, but whatever. I was like, sure, you can have one of my children. This is how smug I am because I know that he's lying. Obviously.
Does he have children?
Huh?
Does he have children, by the way? No. Okay, yep.
So I don't think he understands the value. And I said, when I decide what your favorite thing is, which I ended up choosing his drum kit, which is like $30,000 according to him.
Can I just jump in here and say, how the fuck do you bet? I probably say this to her, but like, how can you bet on something you can't prove? Like, how do I bet on your lying? Like,
you can't.
You know, and yes, drum kits cost $30,000 very easily. God, you can get a good electronic drum kit for $15,000, so really expensive. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm just like getting carried away. But yeah, how do you bet on whether someone's lying or not when you've never met them and you don't have anything to do with them?
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can either.
It's very weird.
But anyway, yeah, it is weird. But
I bet you're lying.
He bet her children. Who the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck
Who
kind of
bets
thing?
children?
You say fucking shit about my child. I'm like, excuse me, we're not playing games here anymore. This whole betting bullshit and we're lying and stuff. Do you want to fucking address the fact that you've just made an insinuation about the safety of my child?
Right.
Because I will fucking destroy that.
Honestly,
and I'm sure you're the
if someone said that to me, I'd be like, and block. You're not on my level.
Yeah, This is done. Not on my level. Anyway, sorry, we'll keep it on going.
I was like, do you still want to play this bet that I know that you're lying to me? I said, I bet your drum kit. And he was like, no, I don't want to play this bet anymore. And I said, oh, okay, because you are fucking lying. And so then my friend goes, I know that she said something about how he said, how's your day? And she's like, oh, good. How's your day? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's pretty good. And she's like, oh, interesting after your conversation with Beck.
See, and this is that would have he would have been so rattled because he swore black and blue. Oh, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not talking to anyone. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm talking to two people.
He then apologizes to my friend for dragging her into this, and I've told him that I basically was like, oh yeah, we're both single, you know, blah blah blah. So he has no clue that I've set her on him, none whatsoever at this point. So, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry to her. Oh, you know, I didn't know that you were Beck's friend, blah, blah, blah.
It just shouldn't matter.
No, and he's like, I'm so sorry. So he actually stopped talking to her immediately. Right. He calls me for damage control, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm never going to lie to you again. You made me feel like really insecure when you had a go at me. And he uses that word a lot. You made me feel insecure. That terminology is something that he's used on me multiple times.
You don't make anyone feel anything. Your feelings are as a result of your own self. It's just
he's making out that he's liking me so much, and when
but no one can make you do something. No one can make you happy, make you angry, make you insecure. If it's other people's actions, your interpretation of other people's actions is up to you. So that's
Yeah. So then he does this weird apology, and he's like, I'm never going to lie to you again. I'm never going to do this. I promise. He's like, I don't want to be one of those shitty men that's hurt you. You know, you've been through so much, which I have been through a lot, but I'm also a lot stronger than what I think he thought I would be from the stuff that I've told him. So he ends up being like, I'm never, you know, let's meet up. I'm so sorry. I'm never going to do this to you again. It was just so much. And I was like, oh, that's weird. If you catch a catfish out, and this is what I literally said to my friend, if you catch a catfish out, usually they're going to run.
You know what makes me think of when that whole, I promise I'll never lie. If you've seen Team America World Police?
No.
It's a Trey Parker and Matt Stone film.
Yeah, okay? I know. I've just never seen it.
And so it's little Barbie doll type things, right? And there's a scene in it, right?
Yeah.
Where the hero he's going off to do the mission, and he's with the hot girl, okay? And she goes, promise me that you'll never die. And he's like, well, I can't promise that I'll never die. I mean, I'll just... And she goes, if you promise me you never die, I'll make love to you right now. And he turns to her and goes, I promise I'll never die. And then there's the sex scene.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like. I promise that I am not lying. Well, that's a fucking lie. I've never lied in my life. That's a fucking lie. Everyone's lying.
Yeah, everyone lies. You start lying from the minute you can open your mouth and talk.
Yeah, that's right.
You want to cover shit up. Chocolate?
No, exactly what I'm thinking. No, that was dragon flew in here and did that. Christ, I didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah, no, we don't get around being pathological liars, or generally that's a whole other thing. But yeah, we lie. So how do you? They haven't met. How do you promise? How do you promise anything?
It just sounds. You know what it sounds like. All these conversations sound like the fucking Notebook or something. I will never lie to you. Come back to me.
Yeah, and then once again, to repeat myself, she's not buying it.
No,
but a part of her is letting it happen.
Yes. Snap. Yes. Yes.
So right now, she's telling this story with the clarity of hindsight. At the time, I guarantee she didn't have this clarity. The clarity that because she's very self-reflective. Like she said earlier, I told him that I consider myself a 10, and she goes, right now, I feel like a 2 because of how fucking stupid I was. She wasn't stupid. She was just blindsided by someone who was really good at manipulating her.
Very good.
In hindsight, she's going, oh, I should, there was a red flag and this happened and that happened. That's all well and good to say that now, Beck. But at the time, you were buying it to an extent.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, next block. Let's just get this ready. Unless you've got anything to add.
No, all good.
Nope. Okay, cool.
Because their lives been exposed. But in this, he's run towards, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm such a nice guy. Like, please forgive me. I just am new to dating.
But he's dedicated to his con, so he's going to see it through.
At this point, yeah. So
and
I'm
like I said, he believes his own lies. So,
yeah. So then I'm like, okay, fine. Like, let's meet up then. And he's like, okay, well, I've been working so hard. I work nights over the weekends. Like we record all this music. I've got to test. He's like, I'll be testing for 6 to 10 hours a day testing. And he's like, and I'll just keep testing. And it's like the same song I have to play over and over again. Anyway, during this time, he starts to show me parts of these videos that he's recording at night.
His promo videos for the
No,
business?
not the promo videos for the music store. It's like him and how he makes so much money, which, by the way, he then tells me it's $1,500 an hour, $1,500 an hour, yes, that he's making when he does this, working for a US company. So he works in US time frames.
So if he's making $1,500 an hour, how many hours a week is he working?
60.
So he's making,
do the maths,
he's making $6 million a year.
Apparently, he's very set for life.
$6 million a year for
Some
testing
weeks
drums.
he doesn't
so
work,
he's making
but-
more than most CEOs.
Apparently. Also, I just want to say, I literally tried to prove this. He's like, I said, so these videos he sends me, it's the drummer's masked, right? So I'm like, oh, well, this drummer looks really good. Like, they look like they can really play. So I'm like, okay.
Masked in what way? Like COVID mask or?
No, like full head. Like, and it's the weird thing is, it looks like it's modeled off like a stormtrooper / Kylo Ren's mask / another mask.
Yeah.
So like definitely Star Warsy. So it kind of fits with the rest. So I've ended up like trying to Google this masked person. Or are you going to try and find it? I already found him.
Yeah. You did?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
But it was like ages later. So I will tell you who he's pretending to be.
Right.
Which is going to give this person great coverage. They're an amazing drummer. They're called Delta Empire. They are an amazing drummer, which I've found that person. And ironically, they said someone had stolen their profile and made a TikTok out of them, which is on their profile.
So you've got someone here called the masked drummer, Nick.
So Delta Empire is completely unknown. No one knows who they are. Now this Tyson character has tattoos and stuff, which are like on his arms.
The second, when you type in Delta, the first thing that comes up is Delta Goodrum. The second thing is Delta Empire. So
but he never said the name. He just sent the videos, and I could not find. If you type in masked drummer, I could not find.
No, you get
anything.
you get the masked drummer. So this guy here.
So Delta.
So he was pretending to be
this man. Yeah.
Delta Empire. All right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So and like I didn't, obviously before I found out who he was, I only found out through TikTok because obviously this new TikTok account has been, I don't have TikTok, so.
So Delta Empire's name is Ulrich Kusch and he was born in 1967.
That's who they suspect him to be.
Okay, yep.
That's who they suspect him to be, but there's been no.
Generally they're right when people do these kind of things.
There's been no 100% proof that it is him. Like he doesn't even speak, so they can't even like say the voice is his. Do you know what I mean?
It's very likely that he's a successful, famous person who doesn't want people to know who he is.
Yes,
He's
correct.
not-
So now I'm thinking it quite possibly could be like he's like, I'm the most famous, unfamous person you'll ever know.
So he played drums on "Breathe" by the Prodigy.
Listen to it; it's amazing. It actually.
No, it was a cover. Look, I'm just going to make a point here because the natural gap has come up. So. She said he gets paid $1,500. Well, he said to her. This is not what she said. He said to her he gets paid $1,500 an hour and works approximately, what did he say, 60 hours a week, right?
$1,500 an hour.
He's making millions, $6 million a year or whatever the maths is. I'm not going to do it, but whatever. So I've just looked up while she's been telling that story. Josh Freese, who is the new drummer for the Foo Fighters. Now, Josh Freese, I'm going to tell you the bands that Josh Freese has performed in, and he is one of the most well-known, famous drummers in the world right now. Okay,
Yep.
So He's a member of the Foo Fighters. He was in the Vandals. He played for Devo since 1996. He played drums for Guns N' Roses from 97 to 2000. He played for A Perfect Circle from 99 to 2012. He worked with Nine Inch Nails from 2005 to 2008, for Weezer from 2009 to 2011, and Sublime with Rome from 2011 to 2017. He's a noted session drummer and has appeared on over 400 records. It's very likely that if you listen to the radio or any form of popular music, you've heard Josh Freese play the drums. In the fall of 2016, he reaffirmed to performing with Sting, who he previously toured and recorded with in 2005. This is a very prolific drummer. Josh Freese has an estimated net worth of $5 million. That's it. Oh, you've disappeared.
Leave?
Uh-oh. Ba-boom. Uh-oh. Sky died. Do this bit again. Here we go. Okay. At this point in the recording, Sky had some connection problems and her Zoom froze up and dropped out, and so I gave her a call on the phone. So what you hear for the next couple of minutes is us troubleshooting and me on the phone, or basically me waiting for Sky to her internet to sort its life out, and then we're back on track. So yeah, I just thought I'd leave this in here because it's quite funny.
I don't know my laptop's being shit. It's just like gone to sleep. Like it won't. I don't know what's going on. Like I can't. Like it's not even loading Messenger anymore.
Oh, it doesn't have you don't have sleep mode on. Whereas if you don't touch the mouse or anything after a period of time, it goes into hibernation mode.
No, not normally. My Wi-Fi seems fine. I don't know.
Okay.
It's just my fucking.
Is Reaper still recording?
Yep.
Yep, okay, that's the most important thing. All right, so what we're going to do is, I'll send you a link to new Zoom meeting because we're running out of time anyway in Zoom. So
well,
if you can get back on there.
I'm trying, but it's just like keeps like nothing is like it's not loading. I'll try Facebook because I've been trying to load Messenger rather than just going to Facebook, but it's just not fucking anything is fucking happening. Just doesn't want to play. Come on. Nothing is happening. My Wi-Fi is just not.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, because you're frozen on your phone now as well.
Oh, really?
Yep, there we are. No, you're back.
Okay.
Well, we can just wrap it up if you like, because there's only one little section left to go on. As we're both recording, our conversation is still being picked up, so we can wrap the show up. So yeah, I mean that's. Did you hear me crapping on about drummers and drummers, mates?
Yeah, I heard all of that. And then you said, "Oh, you frozen." I was like, "Yeah, you frozen as well." So, oh, come on, let me just see if I can get back on. Come on, you motherfucker.
So your Wi-Fi just gone, is it?
My Wi-Fi. So I moved to IONET recently, and like I had to get NBN out because there was a fucking problem with my NBN, and it's just since I've moved to IONET, I'm like, wow, fucking wish I'd never done that.
Where's your router?
It's near the kitchen.
Okay. you're a fair way from it. There's a few walls between you and the kitchen.
Yeah, true.
And the fact that there's plumbing in the bathroom next to you, metal pipes cause interference and water.
So you know what I might do next time? I might sit in the lounge room.
Bathroom's fine,
yeah. Yeah, okay. Look, this is fun. We're learning.
Well, it's working. So anyway, we can wrap it up. What was the guy's? I don't remember the guy's name, but he asked, look, Sky's entered the waiting room.
I think
get you back in here.
Okay.
We might be able to actually finish this.
I know. Should I hang up?
Yeah, hang up.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. And I thought I wasn't going to have much editing to do. But anyway.
Sorry.
So super famous rock star drummers don't make as much money as this guy apparently. But I think
no, $6 million a year.
At least if you want to do the maths, I don't think I did properly. But yeah, it's millions and millions of dollars. $1,500 an hour, for fuck's sake.
He makes so much, and yet he's really just hanging out catfishing women.
Yeah, but he's not. If he's making $1,500 a year, he's a real person who wants to meet women. Although, as we find out in the next episode, and we count the amount of dates that he doesn't attend, but that's a whole other story. So, look, there's one little bit left in this to listen to. We'll listen to that now, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
But, at the end of the day, I think that now going backwards and listening to something we've already listened to, where we've now listened to how crazy it gets in the next episode, I'm listening to this with a new set of ears because it's, It gets fucking crazy. It's not that crazy at this point. The Delta Empire thing, that's the first really crazy thing that made me just go, what? Did he think she was fucking
exactly.
dumb?
That's a dumb lie.
Yeah.
That's a dumb lie.
Something you can't prove. Like, I'm the Stig. It's like that. Yeah. Prove I'm not. Go on. Prove I'm not. How can you?
Yeah. I am Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. Prove you're not. Exactly. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's I got to be careful. I don't want to paint Beck as an idiot here, but he is treating her like one, and she is, because like I said, it's in hindsight, it's good to say, oh, he was treating me like I'm stupid, but at the time, she wasn't. She was just kind of.
It's like when you look back at past relations, or like all the times I've been treated, like with the American or all those, and I'm like, I look back, I'm like, fuck, there's so many signs, but you just at the time you're like, this is it, I'm finally going to find someone. You know what I mean?
Well, what about me?
Even if you're trying to find a catfish.
Yeah, well, me with the girlfriend who kept me a complete secret from all of her friends and family for the entire relationship, and then told me that we're not in a relationship. And
that's fucked.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? We're not exclusive. I'm like, whoa, after a year. And she's like, yeah, and she had men staying over, and she was going to other men's houses and stuff. Whether she was cheating or not is beside the point. But in her mind, she wasn't cheating, even if she was, because we weren't together as far as she was concerned. Anyway,
that's right. Wasn't she on Bumble one time on a date with you?
We were just out for dinner and she was on Bumble, and then out on my couch at home, after having called me her boyfriend. But anyway, that story's in a previous episode if people want to go back and find it. But anyway, let's let this roll. I can understand that. I believe you, but
But yeah, so obviously I'm not in the music industry. I don't know how technically difficult it is.
It's a cover, but sorry, go on.
Yeah, it is a cover.
I thought he was the actual drummer. Yep.
So he's like drawing me in with this because all these things I can't prove. I can't prove masked drummer. I've looked, all that sort of stuff. Anyway.
So he's expecting that he could send you this and there's no way you're going to know
I'm never
who that
trace
is.
it. No, I can't
he's
trace.
just like, oh yeah, this is me. I'm a famous drummer.
You can't tell someone's size or frame or anything. He's supposedly 6'1", which across his profiles he has always been 6'1".
Yep.
So and I'm like, okay, like you're thinking. Well, for me, I was thinking in this particular case that Like look at it. It's Star Warsy, is it not? Is it like it's like futuristic? Like
Yeah, it's dark,
very
yeah.
and it covers all the way down to his neck. That mask. So his tattoos are not exposed. He wears gloves where you can't even see his hands, which tells me he has finger tattoos.
He could be anyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
That guy could be absolutely. He's in an interview with Ola Englund. Ola's very famous musician and
But I don't know this
guitarist.
because I'm an idiot.
But Ola Englund played for what was the band he played for? Sorry, I'm getting distracted now because
You got excited about music.
I'm a music nerd, yeah. Ola Englund played for. He's a YouTuber now. The Haunted. There you go. But yeah, he's Swedish. So,
I did know it's Swedish, but they play. So Delta is sponsored by another Swedish brand, who makes guitars, and they work together. All of these guys.
Is it Solar?
Yeah, I think
that's Ola's brand.
Oh,
He's got his own company. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all. Yeah. Those things can be verified.
Yeah.
But the person cannot. Which,
So was he trying to tell you that he was Delta Empire, or he was?
He was sending me the video saying, "This is what I've tested. This is my testing. This is me playing this."
Wow.
And there was on the videos, obviously, like if you take stuff from like YouTube, if you take stuff from Insta, if you take stuff from TikTok, it has like the banners on there.
Yeah.
And nothing had banners on there. To be honest, like nothing had banners because I was looking in background. I was trying to see if there was like American.
You can
things
also zoom videos and crop them out.
Yeah, I know,
Video
right?
editing
Which
software.
means he has that software,
Well,
which is even more psycho. Really,
Well,
if he's not in that industry, then
Why
did he have that stuff?
I have that kind of software.
Yeah, but you're recording stuff right now.
Well,
like,
that's true,
I mean,
yeah.
what the hell?
I
is
mean,
this
there's
man
musical
saying?
equipment everywhere. I record all the time. But yeah. Sorry, can I just point out that all Windows computers come with video editing software standard? I don't know about Mac, they probably do, but there is a video editing suite as part of Windows.
So it's really like these days. Obviously, she doesn't work in an industry like with computers as such.
No.
But, so she probably isn't as technical. But it's so easy to do things. It's so easy to like take things and pretend it's yours.
14-year-old
Even
kids.
TikTok, you can do it on TikTok.
You can download a video. Like I said, if you download a video and it's got a watermark, you zoom in on the video and crop out the outside of it.
And remove it. Exactly.
Your phone can probably do that for you.
Oh, that's what I do on TikTok when I put like videos of like Instagram stars and I'm like, this woman, she's a bench.
The very smart people have gone and developed software for the rest of us to use, which makes life very simple. For example, right now we are using using a DAW, which is digital audio workstation, which is Reaper, GarageBand, Pro Tools, whatever. We're talking through Zoom, and I'm using a product called Voice Meter, which I paid $15 for, 15 Australian, 10 US, so that I can sync all of that stuff together, and so that you can hear the audio that I'm playing from her recording, and we can record and we can communicate simultaneously. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. It does take a little bit of troubleshooting when you're on a Mac and you have to use a different program called, what is it called? Caster. Does the same thing. But we just have to press a few buttons and spend a little bit of time and you'll figure out how to do it. So I'm not dissing Beck once again, but she's just I don't think she's aware and don't think she was taking into consideration. And he was relying on the fact that she's not aware that this kind of software and stuff is easily accessible by virtually anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how to use Photoshop and shit like that. You would have to because you do newsletters and stuff at school, don't you?
I do everything. I do all graphic design and everything. Yeah, and video editing and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not difficult.
And Instagram, you can grab a video off Instagram. You can like screen record your phone, then put it behind you as a green screen and then talk over it.
Yeah.
Which I do regularly.
You do. It's not it's not 1985 anymore, No.
Yeah. It's so easy to manipulate the world.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, there's about 2 minutes left. We'll go with that. Record all the time. But yeah.
So you're in this industry. So he's telling me he's this person and I'm like thinking, okay, well, these videos look at least like he has either a copy of it or he's cropped it. Like it's not directly taken from... Because I obviously when I did find out that this was Delta. I was like, could it be him? But Delta has a music video.
Yeah,
so
but
I went on the music
also
video and watched the music video. And so Delta's getting all these, like me sending it to my friends. He's probably getting all these views. He's
see,
probably
but
great.
but the thing is, the whole thing is like with someone like Delta Empire, it's like what's his name, Deadmau5, right? They wear a mask so no one knows who they are. He's not going to tell some chick that he's chatting with, living in fucking Australia for a start, which Delta Empire's not from Australia. He's not going to potentially expose himself to
Well, he
people
never
knowing.
told me the name. He doesn't even know. This Tyson fella doesn't even know that I know that he's been poisoned.
Yeah,
So I never
like-
once
it'd
told
be
him because
like-
I wanted to catch him out
Yeah,
so bad.
but there's like people like Buckethead, the guitarist who played with Guns N' Roses for a while. No one knows who that is. Well, people do, but or the Stig. The whole reason they hide their identity is so that they can carry on their normal lives. Like that was Ben Collins, who was a race driver. He didn't want to be famous. He wanted to continue to be famous as a race driver, not as the Stig. Why would Delta Empire go to all the effort of protecting his identity just so he can tell girls that he's met on dating apps who he is? That's stupid. Yeah.
Well, but he's not. But the thing is, he's not saying who he is. He's just showing me.
No,
these
I know,
videos,
but that's what
thinking that we're never going to identify him
because
I
he
think
thinks
that's-
you're dumb.
Yes, correct.
And you don't know anything about drummers and YouTube drummers and that kind of thing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So
You're just a gamer girl who's into
Yeah.
collecting memorabilia
I'm a beauty.
and
I'm
who
not very
works
smart.
a lot.
Yeah.
So what time do you have for looking up random drummers on YouTube? How are you going to verify this?
Well, I'm a very determined person, so
Yes.
I make a lot of time, and I'll stay up very late to catch people up.
Yeah, well,
So that's all happened in like the first, 3 weeks. So he makes a date. Now he's made a date, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go. And 2 days before the date, he like calls me, and I was actually driving my kids to school. So this is now my kids are starting to like listen in on these conversations. Now I only had one child in my car, my oldest son, and he was like, I was like talking to him, and I said, don't talk while he's talking.
look, anyway, that's where it runs out, and then we resume next week. And I think we spoke previously about the teenage son. I don't know how old he is, but he was the one who was like, Mum, do you think he's targeting you directly? Obviously, no, he's not, but that's teenager's brain. But yeah, so...
Oh, it's really funny re-listening to it now.
knowing what
that
comes
we've listened
next
to-
as well.
Yeah. And the more I listen to it, I'm just like, wow, like just women or men or people
Everyone,
that just
yeah.
we just want to hope,
Yeah,
don't we?
We do.
We just want to hope.
We do, and we put ourselves in situations which we're going to discuss in detail in a future episode. But I think we'll make a whole episode out of it. But once we get through all this, we do put ourselves in situations to compromise ourselves purely because we want to be with someone
regularly.
Yeah.
So can I just make a point that's not related to this? Tomorrow, I'm very excited. It's the 22nd of June, and just like that, season 2 is coming out. Woo! I'm so excited.
Oh, the show's just like that? Is that... I thought you were like, and just like that, season 2 of the bloody blah blah show is coming out. And I'm like, season 2?
No, season 2 of And Just Like That.
Okay, and what is...
So it's like the Sex and the City, like today, like Sex and the City now, but like, Big's dead and a few other things. And that's not a spoiler that happened last season.
Okay.
It comes out season 2 tomorrow. I'm very excited.
Same actors, same characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like there's a bit, it says dramas because Kim Cattrall, who played Samantha, they're all fighting and that she's not in the show anymore, but she's going to be in it for 1 minute.
So who are you?
I don't know.
Because
I feel like I'm Carrie. I'm self-absorbed and really like...
Because every 90s woman was a Sex in the City character, correct?
Of course. Yeah. I feel like I was a combination of Carrie, who's like totally... so dumb and self-absorbed, but maybe a little bit of like, bitchy, confident Samantha as well.
I'll take your word for it because I've not watched the show.
And anyone disagrees, let us know.
Okay. So,
what character am I?
So there's a question for our listeners this week. Which Sex in the City character are you? And which what is it? What's the Hogwarts? Which Hogwarts house do you belong to?
Oh, Slytherin. I'm Slytherin.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when I found out I was Slytherin, I was like, I'm doing the test again. They're like, that's something Slytherin would say.
Yeah. I think you're just supposed to feel it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Slytherin.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've watched Harry Potter, but I'm not gonna
No, I'm not the biggest
I'm
fan.
not a high schooler, so I don't.
I'm an elf.
Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's better because you live for a really long time and you get to be more attractive than
You're
everybody
beautiful.
else and have
You're just
really good
beautiful.
skills. And people dig
Yeah.
skills. It makes me think of Napoleon
Archer.
Dynamite. Like girls love guys. Girls love guys with skills. You got nunchuck skills, BMX skills. Anyway, yeah. So young man messaged us. Messaged isn't a word.
Oh, yes.
And he said something along the lines of he's been talking to a girl. It was really weird because he made a comment. I don't want to say because if he listens to this, I don't want him to feel bad. But at the end of the day, he made a comment on a post that seemed a little bit weird and out of context. And so we were recording at the time. This was on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so you commented
Saturday, yeah.
as the page. It's like, do you actually listen to this podcast? Because it's very strange action. Because if you listen to this podcast, you will know that doing something such as commenting, "Hey babe, you're hot," or "Hey, you're gorgeous," or "You look amazing," completely random out of context on a photograph of a woman on social media is a bit creepy. Unless you're in
It is a bit creepy.
Unless you're in a group where the focus of that group is posting hot selfies and thirst traps, then that's basically what you do. Thirst trap gets posted and every man and woman, straight, gay, bi or otherwise, will go, "Hey, you look hot, great photo." Because that's the anticipated response. You're doing it because you want that validation. You put a photo on our Facebook page, on the In My Lounge Room Facebook page of us recording, you sitting with a microphone, and he made a comment about how good you looked. So, mate, I just want to give a bit of advice to you. Don't do that. Like, we appreciate that you listen to the show. And you did say you've listened to one episode, and I hope you are listening moving forwards, because we did say that we were going to address your question on the future episode. And his question was along the lines of, I don't have it in front of me right now, but can you recall what he actually said?
Something like he likes a girl and he doesn't know if she likes him or...
Oh, and should he ask her out?
Yeah.
It was a very vague kind of question. So would you like to provide...
Here we go.
Yep.
I've got it.
Yep.
Been chatting with this girl for a couple of months now, starting to have feelings for her. When should I ask her out? Probably a few months ago.
Yeah. You want to ask someone out before you have feelings. Ask them out, though. Like, are we talking in a high school sense of, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Do you want to... I think he means actually ask her out on a date. Sorry, if you've been chatting for a few months and you've never met... there's like a million red flags.
They might have already met, so we don't know. But I wonder if he's saying ask her out as in like ask her to go steady.
Do you want to be my boyfriend or girlfriend?
And I mean,
maybe.
he might be saying that.
Maybe.
Don't do that. Like,
no.
If it's going to happen, like you can go steady, but it's not 950. You don't
ask to go steady.
You don't have to say, "Hey, do you want to go steady? Do you want to be my girlfriend?"
Yeah.
Tick yes or no.
Yeah. Do you want to wear my Letterman's jacket?
Or like when you're in high school and you get your friend to pass a note to him in class and like, "Do you like Damo?
Will you go out with me?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. He's like, should I ask her out? It's like, well, no, you shouldn't ask her out. You should just have made your intentions clear by now. And if you want to be exclusive, if that's what you're talking about, maybe you should just have that conversation with her and say, "Hey, so we've been, chatting, quote unquote, for a couple of months now. I've developed feelings for you. Do you want to make this exclusive?" However, because as I said, it's a very vague question, but if what he's saying is, "Oh, should I ask her out on a date?" Bro, your ship may have sailed there, my friend.
Yeah, big time.
Like if you haven't asked her out already, or conversely, she's waiting for it. So just hurry up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Honestly, if I'd been messaging someone for 3 months and they hadn't asked me out to go steady or just to like meet, I wouldn't have continued messaging.
If it's the former and you've been messaging for that long, like if you've been just chatting for 3 months, you might not be going to meet that person.
No.
You might not be going to. You might, but I
don't think so. Maybe.
I don't think you are. And if you have met that person and things haven't escalated by 3 months, you're not putting in much effort because they're still around. Either that or they're your mate. Like
they're your mates.
Your mates now. So either make a move or accept that you're mates. You've made a good friend.
Mates.
That's good. Yeah, it's happy. And like we've said before.
And that's awesome too. It's good to have friends.
And we've said before.
Is that a song?
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great show.
But so there's nothing wrong with having a friend who's a member of the opposite sex or of a different gender to you. It doesn't mean that they have friend zoned you because they're not obligated to be with you. They might just want to be friends. And I think the famous quote is people who believe in the friend zone don't value the opposite sex as friends. I think it's generally, it says men who believe in the friend zone don't value women as friends. They see all women as an object of their desire.
Yeah, as vaginas.
Yeah, who you owe me sex. I'm into you. You owe me sex now.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want to be my friend?
Can't just be friends.
Yeah, well, you were being my friend. Anyway, so we'll be back again next week with an episode we've already recorded. So I'm going to I'm going to smash this one out as quickly as I can, hopefully, so we can have this released ASAP, and then I'll do the other one subsequently, and that will be out not too long after. And then we're actually now we've banked them. We've banked 2 episodes. So we've got 2 in the pipe. We'll get another one done in the next few days because now our logistics are sorted.
Go us.
Look at us go.
It's exciting.
Yeah. We can continue to sound awesome and change people's lives.
That's what I want.
Isn't that what we're here for? So,
of course.
Yeah. So to take us out, here's Bon Jovi with No, okay. I just feel like I'm on. Hi, you're listening to Sky and Damo FM. Coming to you from Zoom.
Except, do you know what would be happening is we just have arguments over the next song. So I'll be like, and baby, one more time, Britney Spears.
So what did we do on Saturday night after recording, Sky?
It's possible we sang karaoke.
Did we?
Well, I did a lot of karaoke. No, me and your daughter.
So I did one song and then I cooked dinner.
Yeah.
Slaved over a hot stove.
Which was delicious.
It wasn't bad.
Which was delicious.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
And I sang a lot of songs.
You sung karaoke for about 2 hours, yeah. It was good.
It was awesome.
You needed to get that out of your system because it's been a while.
It has been a while, yes.
But anyway,
I had a party.
Speaking of being a while, this episode's been a while. There is a good... there's several minutes in towards the end there around the 45-minute mark that I have to remove because it was you and I having... I might leave it in there. We'll see. You and I having a conversation on our phones because your Zoom crashed.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, we kept recording, so it's going to be a weird kind of...
It will be very weird.
But anyway...
okay, cool.
That'll do.
Should we wrap it up?
That'll do, pig. I'm not calling you a pig. I'm very sorry.
Thank God.
Oh, that'll do, donkey. We'll do it that one.
That'll do, donkey. Yeah. That'll do.
Depends if you're into
That's better than a pig.
If you're into Babe or Shrek. God, it just makes me think of...
Yeah, right.
Oh, an episode.
Old?
I know. I'm still hooked up on the Auntie Donna podcast from years ago. I'm still catching up because they're like, it's one of those, they got 600 episodes or something, so 500 episodes. And one of their episodes, they had Joe Shrek now because one of their mates, Joe Koski, who's a stage performer, he was Shrek. And so they had this whole episode
on the musical?
Yeah, about talking about him being Shrek. And he was in Guys and Gals, or Guys and Dolls, or whatever it was. And he's
Guys and Dolls.
And Jersey, that's it. And Jersey Boys. And he also, if you look up actually, and I'm going to get you to do this, is to go to the YouTubables. Actually, I'm going to do an experiment. We're going to say goodbye now anyway. So goodbye, but I'm going to continue this.
Bye.
Run, run, run. Drive my big truck. Driving down the interstate, I'm all out of luck. And then I hit a person with my car. And then I run, hit and run, run and hit. I hit a man, yeah I did. Then I ran away. That is called a hit and run. And you mean I did one, I did a hit and run. With my truck, I hit a man. I ran a man down. And then I ran away. And then I ran down another man.
Thank you for listening to In My Lounge Room. Intro music, as always, written and performed by Damien McKay. Now, at the end of the show, you heard Hit and Run by Auntie Donna. Now, Auntie Donna are an Australian comedy trio from Melbourne featuring Mark Samuel Bonanno, Broden Kelly, and Zachary Ruane. This song was from their latest TV series on ABC iView. Called Coffee Cafe. It's written by Tom Armstrong, Mark Bonanno, Broden Kelly, Joe Koski, Samuel Lingham, and Zachary Ruane. The music was performed by Tom Armstrong, and the vocals are done by Joe Koski. You really need to check out Auntie Donna if you haven't. This song, as I was saying, it comes from an episode of Coffee Cafe where earlier in the episode, like preceding this, Mark says something about Hollywood movies having these stupid montages with music that has lyrics that have nothing to do with what's going on in the montage, and then they have this montage of Broden teaching Mark to get better, to get really good at a video game in a gaming arcade, and then they play this song over the top of it. Later on, they had this campaign. This is like outside of the show, to try and get that song played on the radio and then played in the country music charts. They were trying to chart with that song. So, it's a hilarious song. Check out Auntie Donna on YouTube. They're all over the place. Listen to their podcast, the Auntie Donna podcast. Check them out on AuntieDonnaClub.com, I believe. I don't know why I'm plugging Auntie Donna so hard. I just think it's a hilarious song, and that's what Sky and I were talking about. Well, right at the end of the episode there, the recording cut off, and I was telling her about this song. So anyway, that's the context. I think it's hilarious. Go to our social media, In My Lounge Room on Instagram, In My Lounge Room Podcast on Facebook. We're not on Twitter. Probably should be. I don't know. We don't really do anything on there anyway. But and you can hit us up on the socials, send us some messages, send Sky a message, tell us you love the show, tell us you hate us, whatever, give us suggestions. I'm rambling. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. As we mentioned at the beginning, it was a redo. It was the second time we did this episode because the first one was fucking shit. It sounded awful, so we had to do some work on our audio because we're recording over Zoom these days. Next week's episode was a face-to-face, and hopefully that won't be too long after this. Apologies for the break, but technical issues. We did have a bit of a pause. We've come back. Hopefully going to be more consistent. Stick around. I'm going to go. Talking for too long. This episode's gone for long enough. Thank you. Bye.